Hey, Eddie, and Sandy. Um, so I wanted to give some feedback on the signage designed by the intern. So I think we need to have the heart logo here and the name because most people or almost everybody won't know what PCC stands for. Um, and so I think having the branding, the logo, the name here would make sense. On the hub side, let me slow down for a moment. So on the right hand side with the two suites, I think it could have the logo and then maybe in a smaller font, it could say licensed medical clinic. And then on the hub side, I think it again needs to have the logo with the wording pregnancy counseling center. And then the text below it could say free resources. But I don't think we should have the word hub up here. I think we should have the logo with the two hearts and pregnancy counseling center free resources. All right. And then when it comes to this content, this probably won't be visible from the drive-bys. Definitely not visible across the street because I think that would be too well, maybe not definitely, but I think that'd be too small for someone across the street to read anything at this size. But we can run a quick test on that, or at least try to run a test. So if you walk over to the abortion clinic sidewalk, I'm wondering what is visible on the current signage, which will give us an indicator for font size that's needed for clarity. So if I was to go over to here and then look over here, I can almost read IPA, but not really. IFA. I can't read anything in these. I can read injured. That billboard I can read. These signs are just, already pretty small for this distance. But when it comes to someone in the turning bay, they can read the signs up here. They might be able to read something here if it was really big. And I know it seemed sort of, outlandishly big. And then we can still finesse the shape, but we need to have very few words. Because, the words on the billboard, the reason why this billboard has, the word injured, it's got one word that's probably expanding like 10 feet. It's probably like 10 feet by 2 feet. Like that's a really big word. I'm just guessing how big it is, but it's giant. And the reason why is because when someone's in their car, that may be what they see. And if they're interested, then they can read the smaller pieces. But it's really important to have something that is, to get your main message across with a big word. So let me go back. So yeah, and I don't think the phone number could be on a really small bit, like, hours of operation, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Suite number, actually, what suite number would these be? Let's see here. So suite 1 or 100, 2, 3, 4, 5, suite 6, and suite 7. So I think we should have suite 1 on this door And then it can say, enter our main office in suite number 6. And on this door, it would say suite 6. And on, we're going to get closer there. Yeah, so on this door, it would say suite 6. And this one would say suite 7. And then that way, we can very easily tell people, if they walk up to this door because of the signage based on how we're trying to use it, then we could say enter, check in the main office in suite 6 or in suite 7. We could have that on the door. And the phone number can be on the door. People aren't going to write down the phone number from the sign up here, but they might call the number if they walk up to the door outside of your office hours to leave a message. Like that would be more reasonable to have the phone number on the door, or to have business cards and some kind of like a way for someone to take literature. And go back to the design. So I think we need the logo, pregnancy medical clinic, or free medical clinic, something like that. I think we should go with the logo here. And I think we should go with the font colors. So I was thinking, so these signs here, like Julian's Barbershop uses a lot of white. Iglesia Evangelica uses a lot of white with blue text. Management and accounting uses a lot of white in the background. So I was thinking, what if we, instead of using white backgrounds, what if we used the blue in the logo, the accent blue, with white text for good contrast and a white version of the logo? So when they see this logo, they'll see the logo here. They'll see the logo on top. We'll also see the logo on suite 6 and 7, above suite 6. So they can very easily sort of connect the dots with the logo. And by using a blue background with white text, we won't get confused with so many other signs that have a white background with blue text. If we went with the white and blue, we're blending in with the other brand designs going on. And so that's why I'm thinking, I don't think this is the right color palette because it's already being used in the strip mall. But if we reverse it and use dark blue with white text, we can still get the really good contrast, but with us being more unique. So I think we just need to redo these because having 2 phone numbers doesn't make sense. We should only have 1 phone number. The phone number again could be on the door. This is a really good spot for a message. One of those messages that we were talking about that would draw someone in. Keeping it big. And if we have the logo up here, and we use the same color palette with a blue background, white text, and then down here, if we're also using that same palette pretty strongly, it would very easily connect this window signage and this window signage with that color palette. And so I think that would be the way to go, so that we're tying things together through the branding colors. Our free services: pregnancy testing, limited ultrasound, STI testing, parenting classes. I think that's pretty good. Hablos Español, that might just need to be added as one more bullet point, and then walk-ins welcome. I would just say we need to make this text, if we're trying to reach people from the other side of the street, this needs to be full size. If we're just trying to get people who are walking by, then maybe, or drive, within 3 car lanes or 2 car lanes, then maybe this is okay. But it might be it might be good to make this bigger, and then figure out what to prioritize or how to make things bigger. I mean, normally I like imagery like this, like on print design or in for walking traffic. That might be really good, but the driving traffic might have a hard time focusing on what these pictures represent or what they're saying. Um, so that's something to think about. Um, and I guess for the hub, I guess the question that I would lead with is who is the primary audience? Is it the woman who's at risk of continuing to go to the abortion clinic across the street? Are we trying to reach her? Or are we, or is the primary audience walk by traffic that might want parenting help? And so the answer to that question should drive what design we promote or what messaging we promote in this signage space. Um, and I think the answer to the parenting class is that we can have inside signage or inside, have that. Essentially, I believe the parenting classes are by appointment only, or the resource center with, items is by appointment only, and if we're not trying to get foot traffic, then I think that just leaves this signage that just reinforces that we can use it to try and draw foot traffic here. And then on the door, it could say, check in at our main office in Suite 6 or Suite 7, whichever one it happens to be, with an arrow pointing to the right. So someone would get to here, which is great. Now they're walking away from Planned Parenthood or the abortion clinic. They've, driven away from that parking lot perhaps and came over here. And all they have to do is just walk down 5 doors or 6 doors. It sounds like it's just, it's like just giving someone directions on where to keep going. And we can make that clear with some simple verbiage on the door. And then when someone's here for the parenting class, it makes sense because they have, they'll know, oh, Suite 1 at 5:30 p.m. and they don't need the signage because it's in their calendar or they've been invited at a specific time. And yeah, and then the parenting parenting classes, earn while you learn, hub. I think we would probably get 0. I don't know how we would get more than 0 from this signage coming from the abortion clinic, because it's not trying to draw people away. But if we were to put up signage that has messages that are intended to try and draw people from that turn bay, with this being a double-sided sign that's stuck with little stakes into the ground, and this one also being a double-sided sign with some stuck into the ground. So if someone's in this turn bay, they'd see it because it would be 3 feet by 2 feet right there on the left. And this one, they would also see this. They'd also see the logo. We could make it so there's still improvement to be done. Like maybe this solid line could be more of a swirl, but it just needs to show the branding and the design so that it's really easy to connect. Oh, this sign goes with this suite, which then also goes with Suite 6 and 7 because, they're all using the same, accent, the same colors, the same design, the same feel. And so we can focus in on the messaging and making the messaging really big so that it can't be read from 50 feet, 70 feet away. And it can be read by someone who is driving by or slowing down to turn left or slowing down to turn right. If we only have 3 words, there's a good chance that they can and will read them. Even if they can read 5 words, it's better to have 3 words. And I think this imagery here. I don't think it's in the running to help people from Planned Parenthood. So, um, yeah. Anyways, those are my thoughts. Hopefully that's helpful.